okay, stop believing what they say. Stop believing that stop being afraid of the numbers. Stop being afraid of whatever, and we need to start looking at people and the growth or whatever. And you're not gonna be able to do that if you just I ain't gonna cross the street because it's water over there. You just like, you gotta cross the street. You have to. Yesterday I actually got upset with myself because I agreed with somebody about change, and the one thing you have to do is change. You have to be open to change, and I'm saying, and change doesn't mean change everything about yourself, but change actually means like educate yourself, learn. Because sometimes even me, I mythify, because sometimes I just do it off the top of my head. I haven't reread my facts or anything like that, and sometimes I'm just wrong. And so I have to go back and relearn and reread and different things like that. I have to listen to my son. My son is 11 and he knows more about stuff. He telling me to build a game. He play the game every day. He get on the game and can build a world in 5 minutes. It take me 20 days. He can get on the thing and make a beat in 5 minutes. It take me 30 a whole week to make a beat. So that's all I'm saying. It's like I have to start to open myself to his ideals too if I want to keep myself growing. Because I have been in a situation now where somebody actually halted my life. Like, they actually put a stop on my life. Like, they actually was like repeating the same shit over and over again just so they could catch up to me. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Like, what kind of reason is that? I actually felt like I was dead. Like, I was like, I'm dead. Like, that's like, I can't do anything. And then you really learning is what not learning is what kills you. You have to continuously grow. You have to continuously. Like, it's always learning. It's always something to learn. I don't care who it's from. I don't care. Even the way gestures and people. Oh, I love the memes too. The memes are awesome because with the babies, like, it's like we put words to what they feeling and different things like that. So you get to see how this person feels or what this person does. It's so many different things to learn. There's so many ways to learn. But you have to be open-minded to that. And so just like closing the world off and saying that this won't work and it doesn't work, that's not true. Interracial or intercultural relationships, according to me, intercultural. And what's my other one? Mentally displaced. But yeah, which when I say mentally displaced, I actually mean you are mentally displaced. I feel like this is not it's not a place where you probably need to be. Like, it's not we don't want this pushing and trying to find a job and trying to work through here. It's more like we kind of want to trade and move around and travel and different things like that. And I feel like if United States was like that, we'll be okay. But again, so it's still discrimination. So anyway, but what I'm saying is, like, you just have to ultimately, for real, open yourself up into an intercultural relationship. And I'm saying with friendships, with love, with laughter, with all of it. It's like we keep blocking out. Even for me sometimes, now I can't even really dig white people like that. Like, I can't, and then I'm still having a PTSD and anxiety, so I do cut out like the black men, a lot of the black men. That's why I only look at people I probably never date or something like that, So it's something within me too. I got problems too. But what I'm saying is try to push past some of those problems so you can like move forward in your life. So it's not like a standstill or anything like that. You have to. Some days I have to push myself seriously. Like when I do have too many people outside, when I go somewhere around me at one time, or too many people, I don't want to go. I don't want to go today. I don't want to go, even though that was yesterday. Not today. Not like today gonna be like yesterday. I don't want to be out there. I don't. And so
that's a lie.
That's what happens. I just have to push myself out the door and go. Are you talking about me?
He stomped on me.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, he wasn't talking about me. I was good. I didn't react. I was like, don't react because it wasn't about me. But yeah. So anyway, that's the thing. I just some days I have to get up and go, and I do.
You thought I was talking about you?
I didn't actually. I just felt like, wait a minute, let me react because I don't know if he talking about me. You said it 3 or 4 times. That's why I was like, and you didn't look at me, so yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's my whole thing. Y'all have to just create a trade, create a system, and create good relationships with people because they are so worth it. I'm telling you, it's so worth it because you never know how down or out you're going to end up being or who you're going to need or whatever. And that's from the richest to the poorest person. You have to. You have to. And give way to helping others too, like in different cultures and stuff like that. Because it's not easy. It's just not easy. It's not. And that's it. I think that's it for me today. I was like, I wasn't going to do a show today because I was tired. I have been like mentally exhausted. I've been like in a state of, I need to meditate for 2 hours. And I think it's going to happen sooner or later because my mind is going to give up. But yesterday I was like in meditation and I couldn't stay in meditation. So I don't know if anybody ever felt like that, but it felt like a dissonance. Like I needed to meditate, I needed to rest, and I wasn't resting or meditating properly. So that's going to happen. I know the sleep will hit me sooner or later, or the meditation state or something. It's like I just want to sit there and do nothing. That's how I feel. My brain needs to be cut off. And I haven't even been agitated or worried or anything. So that's it. I am just like that. But yeah, intercultural. It's not interracial. It's intercultural. Because you actually are going over into somebody else's culture. If it's in your same neighborhood, it's still not racial. That's like a classist relationship. All those different things. Because in the end, if you married to somebody of a different race and they want their family to succeed, they are more oftentimes than not going to help the other person get a job. And the person that's stifling it is the person of color. That because they have now formed these ideas and all these different ways of life around black people too. So that's why I say, yeah, sometimes y'all don't want to see the true stuff. Y'all just want to keep going over. We have been abused. Yes, we have been abused. But now the abuse, that's the part of systematic racism. The abuse is inside of us too. Because we'll do the same thing. We will do the same thing whether you know it or not. A black person will do the same thing to their own people. And so sometimes people even learn racial issues like that from black people. And that's the same thing I would teach my kids in the classroom. It's like if I am a bully to one student, all the kids are going to still bully that student. But if I'm a person, if I advocate for the student, then usually they'll stop. They'll take up for the student. So if you are a person of power, and I don't care what kind of little power you have, if you're a manager, you're a principal, if you whoever, and you treating a white person, see you treating a black person badly, then they more likely going to treat the black person badly too. So some of these things we have to do, we have to stop within our own community instead of always pushing it off on somebody else to treat us the correct way. When you're giving customer service to a black person, give them real customer service. Don't just give them no pissy ass customer service. For me, when I wait on somebody black, I want them to know that I'm a professional. I want them to know that I enjoy waiting on them. I want them to know that I enjoy them as a human being. Because again, culture does not make us the same. So that's an intercultural relationship. So now I have to put my best foot forward. And that's why I think black businesses, that's where y'all make y'all mistake at. It's like, well, I know you. Because we the same color, you don't know me. You don't know me. You know, I grew up in Illinois, but I was also raised in the South. So for me, I feel like I'm Southern.
In the South Block?
No, Southern, like South, like Southern Illinois. But even though Southern Illinois, but I was raised in Texas and sort of parts of Louisiana. So for me, I don't like rude people. I don't care what color you are. Don't talk to me any kind of way because I don't know you like that. So it's like, that's the problem, you see. So it's like when I'm waiting on somebody, I know about my culture, I know who I am. So therefore, I won't disrespect you like that. I'm not gonna disrespect you and just be in your face like I know you. And so that's like where a lot of black businesses fall, and also black communities too, because it's outside of that. You have an intercultural relationship within your communities too. Because if the neighbors over here came from Alabama and I came from Mississippi, the way we make our pie is going to be different. Just the same as when African people talk about jollof rice. You know, it's a respect of the culture because they two different cultures. Zimbabwe and Nigeria, they don't do the same things. So that's the same thing here. Mississippi and Tennessee don't do the same things. And instead of us looking at ourselves globally, we keep thinking of ourselves in 50 states, and we are so much bigger than that. I'm sorry that people have taught you to think small, or think that this is what we do is so small, it's so tiny. Yes, we are a speck, but at the same time, what we give to the world is so much better, it's so much growth. So if you think about it, you would think about the culture of Mississippi and how you would go down there. I think about the culture of Illinois, and I love to be there. I think about the culture of Maine, all these different places, and it's like you like all the Mississippi. I love how they put out a big wood plank and put those on those 3 things on those trestles, and they laid out food for us, and we had church. So if I ever went to church, I want to go to church in Mississippi. And a back up, like I want to go down a dirt road to an old barn that was made into a church with a trellis out with them. What they call them, those 3 things. I want to be there. I'm going to eat everything. I don't care if the spaghetti got grease in it. I'm finna eat it. You see, because that's the culture. They're giving us that's the part of who they are. If I go to Maine, because it's on the coast, I want to go somewhere and get lobster and shrimp for 15 cents because it's so close to the water. It's so cheap. You see? If I go to, I don't know, in Kentucky, I want to go to the Kentucky Derby and dress up and be pretty. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like all of us have these different nuances that we give to ourselves, and we think that they not worldly, and they are. Every state has something, and every culture inside that state, especially black culture, has something so rich about it. It's so rich. It's like the colors that we see and we put on the internet and all these different things, and the pictures and the blogs and all this different stuff. And it's like we all keep thinking so small. We keep thinking so small. See, when you start to think about race, that's so small. When I start to think about what person is holding me, that's so small. Because you are so much bigger than what you think you are. And that's how you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up like that. I'm telling you, you gotta wake up like that.
You are poor.
Yeah, we are. I was about to say. My son said, but we are poor. Well, you talking about us?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we are. Like, we have nothing. But we wake up and we think about all the stuff that we gonna do and the places we want to go and all the different stuff. And if I die tomorrow, at least I'm gonna die and know that my son got that in him where he want to be able to travel and do all these different things and learn all this different stuff and whatever. You see, and I know how he do. Will he be okay with his money? You know, like, it's like I know he know how to add or subtract. You know, so multiply to and divide. So that's all I'm saying. It's like, we are so much more, and I don't know how to get y'all to think like that, because y'all already thinking that y'all thinking on this big diaspora or this big platinum thing when y'all putting all this pro-black rhetoric out there and, you know, all this different stuff. You not.
Oh God,
because you are so much. You huge. You are huge, and I don't know how to get y'all to think past that platform, because it's different. It's not race. It's culture. It's culture, and so you start with the community around you. It's the community around you clean. It's the community around you respectful. It's the community around you helpful. It's the community around you. Do they have gardens? Do they have this? Do they have that? All these different things. Is that the community around you? If you hate the community around you, what do you do now?
Oh my God.
What's my next thing? Is the community around me safe? That's my first thing. If it's not safe, how do they make it safe? What about the people that are in danger? Is there anybody in danger in my community? It's so many different aspects of just like what more we have to think about besides the color of our skin. Okay. And that's all I'm saying. It's a cultural thing. And I hate that they write books about it. I was like, during all this, I was at a museum and a woman told me don't say anything. I guess because somebody was speaking too. But the woman said don't say anything because it was in a book. And the book said that it was about the race. He said, well, if you do something with the race, then this, and that, and the other. It has nothing to do with the race. It has everything to do with the culture. If I grew up in Italy, I'd be a black Italian. So I'm going to know how to make all these different, like, I'm gonna know how to make all these different whatever, you know, different pastas and different things like that. I'm gonna speak the language. That's gonna be me. right? So it is, and then black people are all over the world. So it's like all black people safe all over the world.